So the dust has settled after the reality war, and I don't want you to take this video as a slander at Doctor Who, because I love this TV show with everything. I've loved it since I was a kid, and I will continue to love it regardless of what path this TV show takes. However, I think the show now has an issue with trying to establish what its target audience is, and massively nostalgia, massively an issue there, trying to sort of hang on to the past with R2, RTD1, whatever it is, right? Because we understand why Tennant and Tate came back. Like, it was beautiful and it was great, and, you know, because I think there was a filming slot with Shooty and it worked there. But we keep sort of living in the past. You know, I know it opened up the Pantheon of Gods, and then you had Sutekh, which is a very disappointing ending. We all know that. And then, you know, you open up Omega, and we've all had all these different villains this season, and it's been great. But however, it's not. And I know it's a kids' TV show. I know it's always been a kids' TV show, but there's no element of. And I watched a video on this actually on TikTok. It's a great video, and it spoke about how the villains aren't really scary anymore. You know, even Omega was massively CGI, just like Sutekh, and was defeated in a matter of seconds. And it's a TV show; you can say whatever, but I just think we're trying to hang on to the past a bit. We're doing these massive big reveals of, oh my god, this person is back. You know, we all wanted big metal Omega. We didn't want CGI Omega, and we're living in the past in bringing these characters back. And then you've got Billie Piper, who I don't think is the Doctor. I think personally she might be like the Valiard or something else, because they haven't confirmed her as the Doctor. However, we are still living in the past because we're bringing these characters back. I think personally, even Susan, there was an element of Susan, you know, across this series, bringing her back, and I think that was fan pressure on Russell. I think that was a case of fans kept saying, you have to bring Carol Ann Ford back and do it, and you teased her, and then that was it. There were so many things that weren't tied up. The finale was rushed. This finale, like, it was, the ending was disappointing because I wanted more Shooty, and because Omega was defeated so easily, and you brought the Rani back, and you killed at least one half of her off like that. It's really frustrating. We know the show has dipped off since Smith, like, in terms of viewers, and I think it's a shame because I love Capaldi. Capaldi is my Doctor, but as a whole, I just think that he's trying to, like, do big, massive reveals and keep everyone hooked on things like that. But it's not work. I think your main issue is having these gaps. Your main issue is now you're going to have a 2-year gap, and that supposedly is one of the reasons why Shooty left, because he didn't want to wait a certain number of years to then have to film again. But I know the show is up in the air. I know it's Disney Plus. I know it's whatever. But we are just living in the past here, and it's not. I don't know. I don't want to say it's not a good look for Who, because Who does everything. Who explores, Who goes beyond the boundaries of everything. But funny, I'm talking about living in the past. Yeah, I loved Jodie's cameo, but even then, like, there's just so many questions about how Ruby remembered. You know, I think the issue is because they're trying to establish what that audience is. They want to keep us older fans hooked on there with all these nostalgic things, but at the same time, because it's a children's TV show, have sort of children invested as well. Like, I don't know. It's such a tough one. And listen, I love Billie. I think she would smash it with she's the Doctor, Valiard, whatever. She gets my back in. I just think there's 7 billion people in the world. Do we have to keep living in the past? I don't know. Like, I don't know.